It's just a maid's son, nothing special, you said with a scoff, and Taehyung looked down, wiping the single tear which left from his eye. He wanted to yell and scream at you for behaving so cold towards him. And he wanted to ask if he was nothing special, then why did you kiss him yesterday? Taehyung's heart sank as he heard your words. He couldn't believe that you were saying such things about him. He thought that you had feelings for him, but now he realized that he was wrong. Taehyung felt tears welling up in his eyes, but he forced them back. He didn't want to let you see him cry. He didn't want to give you the satisfaction of knowing that you had hurt him. You saw Jessie calling you to her. With them, you smiled going towards them, leaving Taehyung and Minnie alone. Minnie sat on your seat after you left from there. So Taehyung came. Tell me about yourself. Minnie smiled. I'm just an ordinary boy, nothing special about me. Taehyung chuckled humorlessly, thinking your words. Are you a magician? Minnie asked with a smirk, and Taehyung looked at her with a frown, saying no. Because when I am looking at you, you make everyone else disappear. Minnie flirted, and Taehyung looked at her for a second before he busted out laughing with Minnie. You was feeling bored of the Jesse's group's posh talk. You slightly turned back to get a glance of Taeyong. You clenched your fist when you saw Taeyong laughing with Minnie. You saw Taeyong laughing with Minnie. You felt a pang of jealousy in your heart. You couldn't believe that Taeyong was having so much fun with someone else. You stood up and excused yourself from the group. You walked over to the You walked over to the bathroom and splashed somewhat cold water on your face. You tried to calm yourself down, but you couldn't stop thinking about Taeyong. You came back to the classroom. You saw Minnie whispering something in Taeyong's ear. I don't care, you thought, rolling your eyes before turning back to your group talking about something. This time, Young Sik also didn't bring any topic which bored you. Okay students, important announcement. This Saturday you guys have high school freshers party. The principal announced in the speaker, making students roar from the excitement. I'm so excited. Will you come to the fresher party, Taeyong? Minnie asked, and Taeyong smiled, shaking his head, saying no. But why, Taeyong? It will be so much fun. Minnie went, cutely making Taeyong chuckle at her silliness. I don't wanna go there. Besides, I don't even have a good dress to wear for that party, Taeyong said with humorless chuckle. You know what? Come with me. Minnie grinned, holding Taeyong's wrist, dragging him outside the class. Yeah, where are you taking me? Just come with me. She dragged him out. You saw Taeyong and Minnie were running out of the class, holding their hands. You rolled your eyes as you clenched your hands into fists, hitting the bench angrily, making a loud thud. I don't care, you mumble, rolling your tongue inside your mouth. Shall we go to canteen and have burger? Seo Jun asked, and all nodded their heads, and you wanted to eat some food to calm down your anger and hunger. Minnie and Taehyung were sitting under a large flower blossom tree talking about random things. Minnie was having a great time enjoying Taehyung's company and the beautiful weather. But then Taehyung did something that made Minnie's heart skip a bit. Taehyung reached into his pocket and pulled out a candy. He unwrapped it and popped it into his mouth. Minnie couldn't help but stare at Taehyung. He looked so handsome, wearing his glasses, and the way he ate the candy was so adorable. Minnie stopped smiling and just watched Taehyung. She couldn't believe how lucky she was to have Taehyung as a friend. Taehyung was very everything Minnie had ever wanted in a best friend. Kind, funny, intelligent, and handsome. And now she was seeing a whole new side of Taehyung, and she loved it. Taehyung finished his candy and looked up at Minnie. He smiled when he saw Minnie staring at him. "What's wrong?" Taehyung asked. "Nothing," Minnie said, quickly turning away. "You just look really handsome." Taehyung blushed. "Thanks," he said, but next moment Taehyung went shocked when Minnie grabbed his collar and pulled him in a kiss, not knowing a pair of eyes watching both of them in pure anger. Your whole face became red due to the anger you left from there. Meanwhile, Taehyung immediately pushed Minnie as soon as he realized what she was doing. He immediately stood up from the ground, wiping his lips. "What the hell, Minnie? What are you doing?" he asked in anger while wiping his lips. He wasn't like the feeling which he was feeling right now. He felt disgusted. He can't digest the fact that his lips touch someone else, which is not yours. Taehyung looked at Minnie, glaring at her. "I'm sorry, Taehyung, but I love you. Since the day I saw you, I fell in love with you, Taehyung." Minnie confessed, sobbing, making Taehyung choke on his saliva. He looked at her, feeling shocked. "I fell for you when I saw you for the first time, Kim." She stopped sobbing and Minnie smiled, holding Taehyung's hand. Taehyung inhaled a deep breath. "I'm sorry, Minnie. I can't return your feelings because you're madly in love with YN," Minnie asked with a grin, making Taehyung blush. "How did you know?" "I always thought that you are so in love with YN by seeing the way you look at her. You always look at her so much in love in your eyes." Minnie called, showing a photo which she took secretly. "In that photo, Taehyung were looking at you with lovable eyes while you were laughing." Taehyung blushed even harder when he saw the photo Minnie was holding. "I want someone to look at me like the way you look at Lee Wyan." Minnie went. "I'm sorry, Taehyung. Please forgive me to kiss you. Don't know what got into me. But I also want someone to love me." She felt really bad after kissing Taehyung. Taehyung understands her situation and let out a sigh. "It's okay, Minnie. You're really a great girl. I'm sure you will get a better person than me, who will love you the way you are." Taehyung smiled, patting Minnie's shoulder. That same old dialogue. Minnie rolled her eyes playfully at him. "Don't worry, I will help you to get your love," Minnie said, and Taehyung widened his eyes. "I read it somewhere. If you love someone, you care about their happiness first, not yours." Minnie smiled as her eyes became glossy. Taehyung pulled her into a hug, brushing her hair softly. Taehyung hoped that one day she would find someone who would cherish and love her the way she deserved. When you were passing by the gate, your heart sank when you saw Minnie and Taehyung hugging each other. You couldn't help but feel jealous, and it angered you more. First that kissing scene and now this hugging scene is fueled your anger more, but still you knew that Minnie had a crush on Taehyung. You clenched your jaw as you watched them. You didn't want to admit it, but you felt possessive towards Taehyung. You didn't want to see him with anyone else. "I don't care. I just don't care," you mumbled, but it looked like you was convincing yourself that you doesn't care about Taehyung. You turned and walked away with heavy heart. You tried to act nonchalant as you entered the classroom, but your heart was racing. You couldn't help but steal glances at Minnie and Taehyung, who were sitting next to each other. Oh, Minnie, this is my seat. Will you please get up? You said, pointing at the seat beside Taehyung's, where Minnie is sitting right now. Why, Anne, can you sit on my place? I wanna sit here because Taeyong and I are talking about something important. Minnie smiled and you wanted to slap her. Nevertheless, you controlled yourself. You sat on the seat. With a sigh, you took out your history book and a pen out of your bag when you saw your history teacher coming inside the class. You tightened your hold around the pencil when you heard Minnie and Taeyong whispering something in each other's ear, making you more angry. You don't care about Taeyong and Minnie, just concentrate on your studies, you thought, writing down the notes, which was directed by your history teacher. Han Julie was San Taeyong's third and his favorite wife, and their love story is legendary. And it is generally believed that Han Julie was a beautiful and devoted wife who was content to have lots of children with her husband San Taeyong. WTF, why this character name is same as Taeyong? You thought, furrowing your eyebrows. You read the whole paragraph again, striking the whole paragraph. But soon you gritted your teeth when you heard Taeyong and Minnie giggling next to each other. Will you guys shut up and concentrate on the class? You both are disturbing me. You yelled, looking at Taeyong and Minnie. Taeyong nodded his head, writing down the notes. Whipped bear, Minnie whispered in Taeyong's ear. Yes, I'm whipped for my baby. Taeyong smiled, looking at you, who was writing down the notes with a frown on your face. Oh, really? I can. Minnie, can you go back to your place? Actually, I'm more comfortable in my place. You said, holding your book. Minnie nodded her head, going back to her seat. With a huff, you sat beside Taeyong. Taeyong felt his heartbeats quickening when he felt the familiar warmth of you. He took a deep breath and tried to calm himself down, focusing on writing down his notes. You can't talk to anyone except me. You said, keeping a straight face. Your words caught Taeyong off guard. He didn't know what to say, so he just kept writing his notes while smiling like an idiot, biting his lower lip, blushing mess. You was telling him that you only wanted him to talk to you. It was like a dream come true for Taeyong. I said, you can't talk to anyone except me. You said it again and Taeyong looked at you. And why do you care? Taeyong asked, and you felt no words coming out of your mouth. Taeyong rolled his eyes internally. You felt your heart pounding in your chest as Taeyong looked at you. You had no idea why you said that. Yes, I don't care. I don't care about you. You said, and Taeyong shrugged, writing down his notes. You rolled your tongue inside your mouth, pulling Taeyong towards you by his collar. I said, I don't care about you. Your voice was slowed down as you looked at Taeyong's lips. You slowly leaned towards him, and Taeyong understood what is going to come next, so he turned his face away from you, and your lips touched his cheek slightly. You pulled yourself back, feeling embarrassed, and you looked down, scribbling on your notebook. Taeyong looked at you with his teary eyes. Stop playing with my feelings. It hurts so much. I will let you kiss me as much as you want, baby. But please be sure about your feelings. Taeyong thought. Soon the bell rang, indicating that the school time is over now. Tay, let's go, she said happily. Taeyong nodded, packing his backpack. You watched in anger and jealousy as Minnie grabbed Taeyong's hand and ran towards the exit, leaving you behind without even saying a goodbye. You clenched your fist tightly. You stepped out of your car for today's fresher party, and as soon as you went out of the car, the boys drooled over your beauty. But you didn't give a single look to them because your eyes were searching for a specific person. You scanned the crowd of people looking for Taehyung. Oh my god, is he Kim Taehyung? OMG, he looks so handsome. Why didn't I see his muscle before? Minnie is so lucky. They both look so good together. Look how Minnie is back hugging Taehyung. She is so lucky. Your heart sank as you saw Taehyung and Minnie arrive at the party together on Taehyung's BMW bike. Minnie was hugging Taehyung from behind and you felt a pang of jealousy. Taehyung and Minnie, they look like a couple. You tried to ignore Minnie and focus on Taehyung, but it was hard. Taehyung looked so happy and carefree, and he was completely oblivious to the way Minnie was clinging to him. Minnie jumped out of the bike, standing in front of Taehyung. You watched with a heavy heart as Taehyung leaned against his on his bike and talked to Minnie. You couldn't help but feel jealous. You wished that you was the one standing there with Taehyung, not Minnie. You are drooling, Ryan. Your classmate Jenny said, giving your tissue. You hastily took out your phone, turning on the selfie camera. You widened your eyes when you saw a string of your drool from the side of your lips to your jaw. You quickly wiped your drool before anyone could notice you. You gulped looking at Taehyung. You literally wanted to run towards him when Taehyung's sharp piercing eyes met yours. You gulped and tried to look away, but you couldn't. You was mesmerized by Taehyung's gaze. Both you and Taehyung continued to stare at each other. You watched in anger as Taehyung walked inside the party with Minnie, his hand on her waist, completely ignoring you. You clenched your jaws tightly, your nails digging into your palms. You couldn't believe that Taehyung was doing this to you, especially after your eye contact earlier. You walked inside the party. There you saw a young sick group standing together. Hey Ryan, come here. Jessie called you. You smiled going towards that group. You noticed Minnie sitting on Taehyung's lap. Minnie was resting her hands on Taehyung's torso and Taehyung had his hands wrapped around Minnie's waist. Suddenly the lights turned dim and DJ played a slow music. Shall we dance, Taehyung? Minnie asked with a bright smile and Taehyung chuckled, nodding his head. They both went towards the dance floor. Minnie smiled, wrapping his hands around Taehyung's neck, and Taehyung held Minnie's hips. And that's it. You had enough now. You abruptly walked towards Taehyung. You grabbed his wrist, dragging him upstairs. Minnie winked at Taehyung, making him smile, and that went unnoticed by you. You both stood on the top floor's balcony and you left Taehyung's hand. Are you both a thing now? You asked, not looking at Taehyung. If we both are a thing or not, that shouldn't concern you, Ryan. You don't care, right? Taehyung said, non-gently, making you more angry. Yes, I don't care, you said, gripping the railing too tight, making your knuckles pain at a point. Okay, Taehyung said as he was about to go, but you slammed Taehyung's back against the glass door, kissing him. At first, Taehyung tried to resist, but soon he gave in and he kissed you back with the same passion. You circled your arms around Taehyung's neck, pulling him more closer towards you. leaving no space between you both. Taehyung slammed your back against the door, making you groan at the slight pain. You both sucked each other's lips passionately. Taehyung kept his palm at the back of your head, pulling you more closer. You abruptly started to pull Taehyung's shirt up. You pulled his shirt halfway up until Taehyung stopped you by holding your hands. "What are you doing, Ryan?" Taehyung asked, panting softly, holding your hands. You pushed Taehyung as you tried to walk away from him, but he stopped you. "No, I can't let you walk away from me again, Ryan. Just tell me, why are you doing this to me? Why don't you just confess that you love me too? It hurts so bad, Ryan. Please don't play with my feelings." Taehyung begged, pulling you towards himself, hugging you tight. You smiled, but in an instant your smile dropped when Minnie kissing Taehyung. That scene flashed in your head. You clenched your jaw and pushed Taehyung harshly. You ran out of the party with Taehyung running behind you. You didn't know where you was going, but you just needed to go away. You couldn't face Taehyung right now. "Ryan, listen. Ryan, you have to answer me." He ran behind you.